In today's video, we are reacting to 50 downgrades in Pokemon by the Aura Guardian. If you guys haven't already, go make sure to check him out. I will have all of his information in the description. If you guys aren't already, go over and check him out, Aura Guardian, and like the video because they make really good content. Yeah, something fair use, something. But let's see what the 50 biggest downgrades in Pokemon have been.
You can tell that Pokemon have been trying to improve their games over the years, and even try their best to include little improvements every now and then. However, there is plenty that hasn't really had the update that it needed, and in some cases has gotten even worse than before. So, I want to do...
I like the games were good, they were good, and then all of a sudden, you know, like you go from like the 2D sprites, and then it's just like 3D, and it's really bad 3D, and then it's really good 3D, and then it's
gotten even worse
questionable
than before.
3D. But they also didn't include Sword and Shield there.
I'll do the opposite of my last video, and cover some of the pretty noticeable downgrades throughout the Pokemon games. This video isn't just me complaining about the Pokemon games lately, more pointing out things that Pokemon can hopefully make better for their next game. Starting with some Pokemon models that looked way worse than their sprites. TMs becoming permanent, and then not becoming permanent anymore. Some shiny Pokemon that looked way better as sprites than models.
Yeah.
The EXP share being turned on.
Some Pokemon really got done dirty. Like, some shiny Pokemon, the new 3D, like, don't get me wrong, I really like the new textures on the new 3D models in Scarlet and Violet. But, like, Lantern's old shiny looked so much better than this weird blob.
As sprites than models. The EXP share being turned on forever. No way to turn it off. Come on, there at least should be a toggle. Evolutions that were taken away from us. Megas are gone. Some evolutions didn't return in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Come on, at least bring back Megas. Triple battles and rotation battles. Introduced in Gen 5.
I've never actually experienced a rotation battle. And I've never actually seen what it looks like. I've only ever read about it. And this looks so... It looks like there's so much that goes into it because, like... How do you... Does it... I have so many questions about rotation battles.
And haven't returned since Gen 6. We're playing Pokemon on a more powerful console now. I think it's time to bring them back. The Battle Frontier.
Bring them back?
Which hasn't returned since Gen 4.
I would murder for a Battle Frontier. Which, it kind of seems like we're going to get a Battle Frontier in the Indigo Disc. It kind of seems like the Indigo Disc, the Blueberry Academy League, seems like it's kind of going to be like a Battle Frontier.
One of the absolute best features,
which is something I'm really excited for.
That definitely needs to return. Leaving out obvious improvements to Pokemon games. For example,
Battle Frontier is just like
no platinum content
post-game
in the
content.
Diamond and Pearl remakes. No Battle Frontier, no Distortion World. Come on, this is like the bare minimum for remakes. Nerfing Pokemon moves a bit too hard. Dark Void, for example, had its accuracy changed from 80% to 50%. But also doesn't work on Smeagol. It didn't need both of these nerfs, just one. The move Hidden Power has also been nerfed in a bit of a different way, as a couple of generations ago, Pokemon pretty much can't learn it. Wonder Trade, one of the best features.
Yeah, they really got rid of
Pokemon
Hidden Power, didn't
now
they?
being called Surprise Trade. Wonder Trade was a way better name. Starter Pokemon, getting an official name, First Partner Pokemon. That's lame. Pokemon that...
Wait, is that actually the name that they're rolling with? They're calling them First Partner Pokemon now? I don't like that.
Almeida's events
that doesn't seem right. No.
The Arceus event in Diamond and Pearl, AZ's Floette. Come on, where are they? Legends Arceus was a great game that brought a lot of improvements to Pokemon, outside of the fact that we can't battle with friends. I understand why giving the new battle system, but come on, they could have implemented it somehow. Cutting both Pokemon and Pokemon moves from future Pokemon games. Again, understand why, but I feel like we're at a point now.
I feel like Gen 10, which sounds so weird to say, but the 10th generation of Pokemon needs to have a complete dex. Otherwise, I feel like so many Pokemon are gonna get forgotten. Because there's what? There's like there's like a little over 1,100 Pokemon. I know there's even more if you count all the different forms and outfits, but like, come on. The Switch might not be powerful enough, but the new thing will be. You know? But like I want a game where you can literally go from 0 to 1,113 or whatever it is. That would just be the best. That would literally just be the best thing.
Where there isn't much of an excuse to cut Pokemon anymore. If other games can fit hundreds, if not thousands of creatures, Game Freak can definitely fit all their Pokemon. The Pokemon TCG getting rid of the Fairy type. In Mystery Dungeon, you had the option of attacking with moves that used PP, or using a basic attack. They eventually got rid of the basic attack, and now you're forced to use moves that use PP. As someone who played the OG Blue Rescue team, this was a massive letdown.
Imagine if they give us an open world Pokemon game that's like actually like an open world that has like all the regions. Like it would probably have to be like a live service game where you pay for DLC expansions that are regions. But I think that would be so cool. Kind of like a Pokemon MMO, but like not bad. I don't know if they could ever make that, but that would be really cool. I would really enjoy that. It would literally just be a take my money. It's like if they did like didn't the Elder Scrolls Online kind of do it where they introduced new regions over time? I feel like that would be really cool. Or just retcon the whole timeline again.
As fun as Pokemon games are on the Switch, I kind of miss the DS days where we had 2 screens to work with. Good time. Shiny locking Pokemon. Seriously, there is absolutely no reason for this. Please stop. Shinies that are way too easy to get. I am all for making new shiny hunting methods, but being able to manipulate the odds to make them this high
system
just doesn't make shiny Pokemon feel nearly as special as they once were. In Gen 1, Hyper Beam not needing to recharge if it KO'd the opponent. I don't care if this made the move overpowered, it was a really cool feature, and in my opinion, would be fine if they brought it back. Changing the catchphrase of Pokemon from gotta catch 'em all to train on. Yeah, gotta.
Huh? When did they do that? What? No.
Gotta catch 'em all is way better. Changing the PSS.
No one informed me of that change. When did they change that?
Festival Plaza. Maybe the biggest downgrade in Pokemon history. Catchphrase of Pokemon.
This? Yeah, when did they change it from catch 'em all?
Train.
When did this change happen? I mean, I'm assuming it was during the 25th anniversary, but no, I don't like that.
Yeah, gotta catch 'em all is way better. Changing the PSS player search system to the Festival Plaza.
No one consulted me.
Maybe
no
the biggest downgrade
change
in Pokemon history. Pikachu going from this to this. I think we all liked Fat Pikachu more.
Yeah, I mean, I get that it's PR, but
massive improvement. Then going back to regular catching in Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, I think we should have kept the Legends Arceus catching method.
I'd love the Legends Arceus catching method in a main line.
From Ash to these guys. Yeah, I don't think they're going to hold a candle to Ash if I'm being real. Evolutions that turn out to be worse than the regular form, or in this case.
Okay, hear me out here. Just think about this. Fat Pikachu should be the Kanto regional variant. Right? Like Fat Pikachu should be like the real, like just the Kanto one. I think that would be the best way that they could incorporate Fat Pikachu back. Just saying. I think that would actually kind of be a cool little Easter egg, but I don't know.
Mega Evolution. Mythical Pokemon that are just given away to you.
Yeah, right? Like because like we could do that now technically. Like if Darmanitan can have a Galarian form that's literally only difference is it's a white fur instead of red fur. I mean, it's typing and stuff, but like I feel like we should be able to go back and like retcon some stuff and it's like Pikachu from Kanto are fat and chubby little dudes like he originally was. And then in Johto, they're the skinny little ones that we have now. It wouldn't be that hard of a thing to change. Except they would have to retcon every single Pikachu in the game. And actually, I was working on this earlier for some Pokemon fun facts. Pikachu has over 100 different outfits that are official costumes for the mascot. That would be a lot of work to change those. Because like with Pokemon Unite and stuff, I mean they might not ever do it, but bring Fat Pikachu back. That's all I want. Chunky
Instead of
Pikachu.
having to do something for them. It was way more fun back then. Although Pokemon is getting a bit better now. Graphics. I think we can all agree the new Pokemon Snap looks much better than Scarlet and Violet. Hell, some people even think Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee looks better than Scarlet and Violet. Hopefully this won't be that much of an issue for long. Pokemon
I
routes,
loved
in my
Pokemon Let's
opinion,
Go's
are
art
kind
style.
of getting worse.
I would be so
They're less
happy if they went
memorable.
back to it.
The music isn't as fun. I mean, compare Kanto Route 1 to Kalos Route 1. Major downgrade. The Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl speed.
So, here's my thing. I take it back. If we were to do Let's Go graphics, right? Like the Let's Go overworld graphics, but in the art style of BDSP without the chibis, that would be peak Switch graphics. And that's where they should have ended it. Sword and Shield was pushing the Switch's ability to do things, and Scarlet and Violet just broke it. Like, Nintendo's just trying to make it look better for the sake of making it look better, and it doesn't look good. Let's Go and BDSP, some combination of those two games is where they should have kept it.
Run. Originally, this game could be beaten in 15 minutes. That is kind of funny, but after a patch, this 15-minute run was removed. Massive disappointment in my opinion. The Sword and Shield DLC, believe it or not,
Yes, exactly,
made
Rayquaza.
the regular game
that would
a
be
little
peak.
bit slower. That also affected the speed run by around 90 seconds. That's kinda crazy. The shiny jingle being added in Legends Arceus, and then removed for Scarlet and Violet. It was just
Such
nice
a
and
bad
let us know
idea.
that a shiny definitely popped up. Pokemon that look worse
Like,
in their shiny form.
The
Still
shiny
not the
sound was
biggest fan of
such an
Infinite.
accessibility thing.
The first Pokemon movie being remade into this.
What? No. Who did that and why?
Sorry, but this film is probably one of the ugliest 3D films I've seen.
What the fuck
Remote
is
raid
that?
passes in Pokemon Go. They were a somewhat reasonable price. Now they're almost double. Not cool. Pokemon cartridges. Remembered when they were coloured? It was a
Who
really
made
fun
this?
aesthetic.
I don't know, but they
Now
need
they're
to
just
burn.
regular Switch cases. Well, they can do the same as before. Pokemon rivals going from these guys to these guys. Pokemon Worlds getting rid of Pokken. I wasn't really that big into Pokken, but it gave a bit more variety
Wait, isn't there a Pokken 2? Inflation the moment.
to the show.
I thought that they increased the raid pass prices because they were like being mean. Like, I thought that they were actually like, it was like, I mean, you can say it was inflation, but it almost seemed malicious how much they increased the prices.
We don't
on
really
those
have a
things.
Pokemon fighting game, so it was a nice inclusion for people who do play. The bug type getting even worse as the fairy type came out. I could also mention the other types that got nerfed by fairy type, but specifically bug type, because bug type was already weak. Something that a lot of people have had a problem with. Starter Pokemon becoming even more human-like.
Wait, were they made cheaper during COVID? Because I did not know that. So wait, if the raid passes were made cheaper during COVID and then the prices went back. Oh. Huh. Because I always thought that they introduced them. I always thought it was just kind of like dumb luck. They introduced them before COVID and then like COVID happened. But I mean, also, wait, let's go back. a second. It went from 100. Yeah, specifically remote raids. It went from it doubled in price. I mean, honestly, that I don't know. People still raid. I don't know. I don't play Pokemon Go enough, but it seems like people were mad about it, maybe for not reading the TOS.
I know for
I
a
don't
fact
know.
some are getting kind of sick of it. Not getting a champion as good as Cynthia since Gen 4 doesn't help that quite a few of them have been pretty easy in comparison. Catching Pokemon regularly to catching in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
This took so long for me to get used to.
This needed fixing pretty bad.
I almost threw my
Ever
controller
since
so
Brilliant
many
Diamond and
times.
Shining Pearl, I think it's safe to say most people aren't that excited for remakes anymore. But if you know if it does happen, hopefully it won't be that much of a letdown. Postgame and Pokemon games arguably getting worse as well. DLC doesn't
Swordbert
count.
and Shield.
Like compare the Postgame to Gold and Silver, where you got to go back to Kanto, to X and Y, which didn't have much at all. Hyper Potions, massive downgrade. Did they need to make it worse? I don't know. Not being able to nickname Pokemon cool things.
Oh yeah, no. Auras and Heart Gold and Soul Silver are amazing games. I think they were just saying that BDSP. All right, wait. I'm not crazy. Okay. Okay, wait. This is something that has been bothering me because the other day I actually like used a potion in Scarlet and Violet and noticed that it only healed 120. But the other day when I was using a super potion in, I think it was, I forget what game it was, but it was an older gen game and it did 200 and it made me think, and I was like, they changed it. But now it's confirmed to me that they changed it.
Not being able to nickname Pokemon cool things anymore. Pokemon abilities receiving a nerf that makes the Pokemon that has it completely useless. RIP.
Looking at you, Metagross.
Secret bases going from this to this. What's the point? Pokemon that look worse in plush form.
Why did they do Typhlosion like that?
Beta Pokemon.
Decidueye didn't even look that
than
bad.
The final form. I personally am a huge fan of Beta Girafarig. How some Pokemon looked in the Detective Pikachu movie. A couple primary examples I can think of are Charizard and Gengar. These guys look pretty terrible back then, and yeah, their designs have not held up
That's
since.
not great. That's not great CGI.
The biggest downgrade in Pokemon history is going from the best firefighting type to the absolute worst firefighting type. Okay, I don't actually hate Ember, but compared to Infernape, massive downgrade.
Those are some shots
and those
fired.
are 50 of the biggest downgrades we've seen in Pokemon so far. Hopefully we'll see less of them
You
as
really
Pokemon
thought
goes
Detective
on.
Pikachu
And
had
if you did
good...
enjoy, please...
You're telling me, okay, so Snorlax looks pretty good. Pikachu looks good. Bulbasaur and Squirtle look good. Ludicolo, I never really thought of Ludicolo as being furry. I always thought it was more scales. No, I know. I'm just like, what did they? Why does no, I can't keep looking at this. But that was a really good video. A lot of fun. 50 things. Huh. Interesting that he has it as Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I really, the one thing I wish I could see come back is that we will get the shiny sounds back and that we will maybe get the Legends catching style. But, I mean, hopefully, best case scenario, we're going to get a Legends Kyurem game and Black and White 3. If they really love us, that's what the Pokemon Company will do. But we all know that they don't love us. So, oh boy.